Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
And when you log in, what you want to do is click on these three icons right here in the top left-hand corner, come down to AP Marketplace, and then go to Switch Tools. When you come there, you come here, you see the tool you have. Have it here, you need to select the tool you want. AIRO is going to be the very last one on the screen. There should be a total of 5 different tools. As in the marketplace, Auvoria Prime has 5 different software tools. AIRO is the very last one. You select that one, it'll bring you to this screen here. You launch VPS, and it will bring you to this screen here. You select VPS account to go to your access pass. Skip to this screen here. And you have all the access you need here. You can connect to your VPS through the website. It is not recommended to do so. You will have a better user experience when trading through your remote desktop. If your remote desktop allows you to connect to your VPS, is what that is. There are, if you have a Mac computer like I do, you just want to go to the App Store and download Microsoft Remote Desktop. It's a little red icon with 2 little greater than, less than signs pointing at each other. And then you want to come to your remote desktop connection, get all your credentials to log in. All right, there are videos, and I'll show you what those videos are at in the back office to help you navigate through setting that up, unless you have somebody that can help you. All right. If you have a Microsoft computer, Microsoft Remote Desktop is already built in because it's just a part of the software. David's got a question: what are the steps to open a live account when you are under 18? So you will need to have a parent or guardian that is 18 or older to actually create an account for you, or sign on your behalf, or set up on your behalf. So some brokers are different. You'll need to contact them to find out. But the easiest way is to have a guardian set it up for you, because with the brokers, the cool thing is you won't have to pay taxes from the broker. You pay taxes on when you cash money out. So for example, if you use Cash App to take out all your withdrawals in Bitcoin and cash it out, then Bitcoin will send you a document at the end of the year or the beginning of the next year so you can pay taxes on it. I'm not a tax consultant, but that's just the way that it works. So you need to have somebody that is 18 or older to actually create an account for you. I have my 16-year-old cousin who's using the software, and when I've approved for him to go live, his father will have to get everything set up for him. All right. Let's see here. So I gotta put the platform on my personal chart. You cannot. So the software only goes on to the VPS, to the MT4 platform inside of the VPS. All right. So if you have the remote desktop set up, you're good to go. All right. There are 2 reasons why the software is not available on your own computer. Number 1 is security. So we don't want people taking the softwares that we provide here at the company and taking them and then selling them elsewhere. Number 2 is functionality. So my software sends out continuous signals all throughout the day. The other softwares, they automatically trade for you. They're auto traders. If your computer goes to sleep, that you have your charts open on, if your computer, if there's a, let's say you do have it on, but then there's a power outage and your computer, you have a short circuit or whatever the case may be, and your computer goes out, you will stop receiving signals and your EAs will stop working. So your auto trading bots software will stop working altogether. All right. So that's why we have it inside of the VPS, the virtual private server, because those are nothing but a computer in the cloud. While we're talking about it, I'll pull mine up here so you guys can see what it looks like. Give me 1 second here, pull it up. That way you guys can see what it looks like, and we talk more about it. All right, here we go. So you can see here, it looks just like a computer. You see here, I got a big reboot button. If you ever need to reboot your software to get it back working, effectively, you can reboot from inside of your remote desktop. Also, if you want to reboot once a week, I recommend on Saturdays when most people aren't trading, but you want to reboot once a week so that you can do what? Have the best, up to date, refresh the VPS that's been on all week, reboot it so that it's properly functioning, for the next week. You also, after you reboot it, want to do a Windows update to make sure you have the most up-to-date Windows, all right? But this is what it looks like. It's just a virtual computer in the cloud. That is why it doesn't go to sleep. So it allows your software to always be running and you not have to worry about your computer staying on. So those are the two reasons why we have a VPS with the company. All right, so when you receive your credentials, and again, let's go back to it here. You can see here, I have a username, an IP address, and a password, right? So when I download the Microsoft Remote Desktop, I will have what? I have this screen here, Remote Desktop. This is a Mac. It looks slightly different on a Windows computer, but it works the same. You'll simply, let me stop sharing so I can show you this other screen here. You'll simply hit that plus sign. So you hit this plus sign here in the top left-hand corner for new. All right, that's for new. And then it'll bring up a separate screen that looks like this. All right, for me, connection name, I just call it AP. That's just a friendly name. PC name is going to be your host name or IP address. So I paste the IP address in here. You want to do copy and paste because it is case sensitive. So I type in the PC name here or the IP address. Under username, I type in the username. Under password, I copy and paste the password. All right, once I'm done with that, I close out. All right, and when I'm closed out, it looks like this. You see, I got two of them. I got my own personal, and then I have the one through the company. Then all I have to do is double click on it. And when I double click on it, it takes me into this right here, which we showed earlier. This is my VPS. AIRO will be here at the top. You double click on that. If you don't see that this says AIRO, one of two things you need to do: ensure you selected AIRO as your software. All right. And then number two, if you have selected AIRO as your software and it's still not there, submit a ticket so that they can get that pushed through for you. Once you've done that, you double click that and you will get a chart. It won't look like this here. You'll get a chart that looks like this. You'll have 4 different screens, 4 different charts up that look just like this. All right, 4 different charts that look like this. Again, I recommend, and the company recommends, using the remote desktop. The app is free. Microsoft Remote Desktop is the free app. Download it. The cool thing is, and I'm going to show you real quick here, I also use it on my phone. So I have the Microsoft Remote Desktop here, and you see here, there's my chart. And if I click on that, it will log me in to my VPS. This is on my iPhone. So on my iPhone, I also have it. I also have it on my what? On my iPad. Right now, I'm talking to you from my MacBook Air. So I have it on 3 different devices. Now, you can only log into your VPS one device at a time. But for me, if I'm sitting on the couch, I can trade from my iPad. If I'm at my desk, I can trade from my laptop. If I'm on the go, I can trade from my iPhone. I'm always around my software. I always have access to it. Remote desktop is the best way to access your software. All right. Now, once you've done that and you logged in, first thing you do is you log to the charts is you want to do what? You want to log into your broker. You have to have a broker to use the software. All right. From a broker standpoint, I cannot advise you on brokers, publicly. I can't advise it to you publicly on public call or in public chats. I'll tell you though what I look for in criteria for brokers. So the criteria I look for in brokers is I look for a broker that has a lot of options to trade. So asset classes, forex pairs, cryptocurrency, and making sure that if they have cryptocurrency, I can trade cryptocurrency on the weekends. Also indices and precious metals, things of that nature. I also want a broker that has no fees when I make a deposit or when I make a withdrawal. I also want a broker that's going to have fast withdrawals. So the broker I use, they will withdraw. I mean, they will send me my money in 1 hour or less. I look for a broker that has low spreads. So we'll go over spreads. If we look at it here, there's a red line and a white line right there. The closer those are together, the better for you as a trader. And we'll explain that reason why later. And so those are some of the criteria I look for, in a broker. All right. Once I've logged into my broker, you'll see this down here. This is how you know. There's two ways you know you logged into your broker successfully. Number one, you'll see this down here. It'll be green and red with numbers. All right. And then kilobytes at the end. Also, when you first log in successfully, you'll hear this sound, kind of like the old dial-up. You've got mail. You get that. You'll say you've got mail. And then you'll see these numbers pop up down here with the green and red bars. If you're not set up, it's just going to continue to say disconnected or whatever the case may be. So once you set up, you are good to go once you've logged in. All right. Next, you want to set up 2 templates. All right. So we'll show you how to set up 2 templates, how to set up itself. How to set up a default template for your chart, and then how to set up the software. So first things first, we'll set up the default chart. You want to right click on the black of the screen or double click with a Mac. You want to come down here. You should get this little menu item here. Come down here to the very bottom, properties. And then I'm going to fill out the settings here. You can take a screenshot or a picture of them. All right. Background is black, foreground white, grid white, bar up lime, bar down red, bull candle lime, bear candle red. Leave everything else the same. Come to common, chart shift on, chart auto scroll on, candlesticks selected, show OHLC selected, show ask line selected, show period separator selected, and then unselect show grid. So take a picture of that or a screenshot. Those are your settings. And then take a picture or a screenshot of this. These are your settings. Select OK. Your chart will look just like this. All right. Red means the candle is going down in price. Green means the candle is going up in price. Real simple. The period separator that we talked about are these lines right here. So depending on what time frame you're on, if you're on the M15, again, if you don't see all these icons on your menu bar here, like I have, you want to go to View, Toolbars, turn all 4 of these on. All you have to do is just select them, turn all 4 of these on until you see the check marks, and then come over here under Status Bar and Charts Bar, make sure you have check marks there as well. And then you'll see all these icons. These different icons right here are for each candlestick. So I'm on the M15. That means I'm on the minute 15, which means that every one of these candlesticks, that's what these are, these little squiggly lines, as people like to call them, these are candlesticks. That's the terminology for them. And so every candlestick takes 15 minutes to form when I select M15. If I select M5, every candlestick is a 5-minute candle. So it takes 5 minutes to form. All right. So for me, I put it on M15 because that's the time frame that we do majority of our trading on. After that is set, you want to select this templates item. So right here underneath the blue bar, underneath the actual pair we're on, you want to select templates. Right click, save template. You're gonna get this restrictions icon here. All right, warning. You want to select OK. Push through it. Sometimes it comes up twice, push OK again. You get to the save as box. Save as default. Type it default. You see, I already have it saved here, and then hit save. I'm not going to hit save because I already have mine saved as default. And then you have this here. So then guess what? When you now put on a new chart, you then can come back to templates, load template this time, select default, and open. And it will put it right back on the chart for you. All right? Put it right back on the chart for you. Next, it's time to put the software on. All right? Time to put the software on. So to put the software on, you want to go to this icon right here, your navigator. It's a gold folder with the gold star. All right, turn it off there. You get this little menu box over here that pops up. What you want to do is you want to select the plus sign next to indicators. Once you've selected that, you should see the software down there, AIRO V 3.1. All right, and I'll give you guys all 45 you want to call. I am working, and we should potentially have, no promises, working on it, getting version 4 placed out by the weekend. So this coming weekend, version 4, as we try to make the overall experience easier, for everybody. All right, and then take some of the load off of the BPS. So, once you have V 3.1 right there, double click on that. Make sure these first two are check marked. Allow DL imports and allow external experts imports. Next, come up here, go to inputs. All right. Depending on, you want to make sure your settings are on. So desktop alerts and push notifications to your phone. I'll walk you through how to get notifications of an AIRO to your phone, but you want to make sure both of these are true. And then down here, your beginning to end is your money zone time frame. All right. I'm going to just turn mine on real quick. So there's what the software looks like. So I'll place the software on my computer now. All right. So this shaded area here is the money zone. This is a specific time frame. This time frame is a 12-hour time frame throughout the day that signifies when the majority of the money is traded. All right, the majority of the money is traded. As if you don't know, or if you do know, the foreign exchange market is a $7 trillion a day industry. 7 trillion. The Forex market is 350 times bigger than the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow Jones, all that. All right. And so you want to trade when the money trades. All right. You want to trade when the actual money trades. So this is what this money zone signifies. And you see here, outside of money zone, you see price moves a little bit. Inside moves a lot more. Outside moves a little bit. Inside moves a lot more. So the market is more volatile inside the money zone, which gives you an opportunity to do what? To catch pips. We'll talk about pips later tonight. But this time frame is a specific time frame. So if we go back to the software settings, you'll see here money zones should be set up from 12 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. You want to convert that 12-hour time frame into the actual time zone that your broker's server is in. All right, my broker server time is 0800 to 2000. That's the same time for my broker based on 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so for those who use the broker I have or a couple other similar brokers, the default settings here of 0800 to 2000 will be good to go. They won't have to change it. All right. If you use a different broker, then of course you have to change. All right. Now, once you've done that, you just select OK. And voila, the software is now on your chart. Next thing you want to do is you want to save the template now. All right. template, save template, and then go ahead and select OK to go here and type in AIRO, AIRO. You see here I have it saved, AIRO, save. I'm gonna hit cancel because I already have mine saved. That way, now, if you get another pair here, all you have to do now is select this here, templates icon, come down to load template, select AIRO, open. Boom, there it is. That is how you set up your software and set up the actual settings. All right. All right, so we got that out of the way here. Let me stop and see if there's any questions real quick before we move on to the next topic. So the App Store, Apple App Store, the name of the remote desktop is called the Microsoft Remote Desktop. All right. There will not be any trades on this call. This is a simple 101 call. All right, helping people get set up on the software. Is there any specific times we shouldn't trade AIRO? No, you can trade AIRO all day long, all weekend long. You guys, people in the group trading all weekend long crypto. But there are parameters, there are rules of when to trade, when not to trade, things of that nature. Please go and watch the videos so that you can understand what those timeframes are. I personally recommend not to trade on Sundays and Fridays because they're trap days by the market makers. But again, it's your money, your risk, as you're paying for it. You can trade if you want to. People win on Sundays. There are people that have been posting group, trades today. All right. And so they're comfortable making that risk. They're comfortable trading on Sundays and on Fridays. That's fine. All right. But I don't recommend it, especially if you're a beginner. Now, as you become more experienced and understand the strategies a lot more and things of that nature, then it's your call. All right. All right. So no more questions. Oh, none in Q&A, none in the chat. All right. So what I'll do now is go back to sharing my screen. All right. Now, before I explain strategy number one, I want to go over a few things to kind of give you some foundation. All right. So I want to go over what is a pip and how to count pips. PIPS is what we use in this industry. All right. That's number one. And then want to go over, so, what is a pip, how to count pips, number one. Number two, what is your lot size, how to actually place your lot size and understand what your lot size value is. And number three, bringing all that together into using strategy number one, which is the bag entry method. And we'll talk more about that. All right. All right. So give you a second here. I'm just writing these notes out for you guys. That way, when we're done talking about everything, you guys can take a screenshot or a picture of these notes as well to have this stuff, for later. All right, there we go. Here we go. All right, so PIP stands for price interest point. It is used to count the change in price. So foreign exchange is nothing but taking one currency pair and matching it with another one, pairing them together, and then measuring the difference between the two as they fluctuate up and down. All right, so we are on this chart here. This is the GBP USD, the Great Britain pound versus the United States dollar. So the currency pair that's up front, which is GBP, the Great Britain pound, that is the one that's most affected. That's the base pair. So if price is headed up, that means the pound is gaining strength against the dollar, the US dollar. If price is going down, that means the US dollar is gaining strength against the pound. So the pound is weakening against the dollar when it's going down. It's strengthening when it's going up. All right. Currency pairs have their values written out multiple ways, 4 different ways. Someone will have 2 numbers after the decimal place, like right here. I'm going to use the example 1.39100, which is right here. I'm going to use that example for the demonstration just today. All right. So on this currency pair, there are 5 numbers after the decimal place. Some currency pairs have 4 numbers after the decimal place. So if you have 4 or 5 numbers after the decimal place, your PIP is your 4th digit. So on here, 1.39100, this first 0 is our PIP. All right. So if price went from 1.39100 to 1. All right. There we go. So 1.39100 to 1.391 let me make that one change, guys. 1 second. There we go. So 1.39100 to 1.39110 is 10 pips up. Because the 4th digit after the decimal place is the PIP. So the 4th digit is that first 0. So 3910 to 3911, that's 1 pip up. All right. And then 1.39100 to 1.39 090, 1 pip down. All right. 1.39100 to 1.39090 is 1 pip down. Why? Because we had 10 here, 39,100, 3910. So we went from 3910 to 3909. So, all right, that is 1 pip down. All right, I'm sorry, 10 pips down. I apologize. No, I'm buzzing. 1 pip down. All right, guys, I apologize. It's been a long day. So 1.39100 to 1.39110 is 1 pip up. 1.39100 to 1.39090 is 1 pip down. All right. $1.39100 to 1.39200 is 10 pips up. So if you go from 39,100 to 39,200, that is 10 pips up. Again, the 4th digit is your decimal place. So when you move past 9, you gotta, as you learn, in school, you gotta round the decimal and go to the next level. So 39,100 to 39,200, that is 10 pips up. All right, 10 pips up. And then last but not least, 1.39100 to 1.39000 is 10 pips down. All right, 10 pips down. So take a screenshot of that picture if you need to, so that you can understand what a pip is and how to count pips. All right. Now let's go to another pair that has a different setup as far as the pips are concerned. All right, so we're here on the Great Britain pound, Japanese yen. Great Britain pound, Japanese yen. So guess what? They only have 3 numbers at the decimal place. So we'll go with this first one, 149.230. What did I say? 230. Yep. So that's the one we use. All right, so on GBP JPY, if we go from 149.230 to 149.240, that's 1 pip up because the second number is decimal place. So let me go back to the rules. If there are 2 or 3 numbers after the decimal place, use the 3rd digit. If there are 4 or 5 numbers after the decimal place, use the 4th. All right, 3rd digit if there are 2 or 3, 4th digit if there are 4 or 5. Real simple. With the JPY, there are 3 numbers after the decimal, so we're going to use the 2nd digit. It's real easy. 2nd digit, 4th digit. 4th digit, 2nd digit. That's it. So 2nd digit for us is the 3. So 149.230 to 149.240 is 1 pip up. 149.230 to 149.220 is 1 pip down. 149.230 to 149.130 is 10 pips down. And then 149.230 to 149.330 is 10 pips up. All right. All right. That is how you count your pips. All right. Next, we'll talk about let me get a different chart up here. We'll talk about proper risk management. I'm sorry, we'll talk about lots. We'll get into proper risk management really quickly on that as well. All right, so Once you understand how to count pips, now you have what is your lot sizes, which is your investment amount. So with stocks, most people know you buy $500 worth of stocks. And as it goes with value, depending on how much of a stock you got for $500, how many shares you have, you multiply the number of shares you have by the new company, by the new price of the stock. And that gives you your new value. It may be higher, it may be lower. With Forex, it's a little different. You have your currency pair, price goes up and down, but you have your lot size, which is you're telling the system, I want to risk so much per pip. So price goes up 1 pip, I want to risk so much. If it goes down, I want to risk so much. Again, you have leverage, which allows you to trade the foreign exchange market. All right. You have leverage, margin from the brokers. All right. Now, with that leverage and that margin, it allows you to trade in the foreign exchange market, which is actually a lot more expensive than what it used to be. So it used to take 100,000 contracts, at once, to be able to trade in the foreign exchange market. Now it's not like that. Now you have leverage. You use the lot sizes. These lot sizes are a dollar amount or even less than a dollar. They go down to 10 cents, which allows you to be able to control your risk and trade smaller accounts, medium-sized accounts, large accounts, institutional level investing accounts, which are millions and billions of dollars. All right. So we'll go over what the lot size is. The lot size is just you telling the system how much you want to trade per pip, which that calculates your, the amount of leverage, the amount of margin that you're actually utilizing. So there are 3 types of lot sizes. The first one is the micro lot. It's written as 0.01 to 0.09, and it is valued at 0.01, 10 cent. So micro lot written 0.01 to 0.09. This is a 10 cent lot size. All right. Which means that every time price goes up or down, you're risking 10 cents per pip. So if it goes 10 pips the wrong way, you're only down $1. All right. But also if it goes up 10 pips, you're only up $1. But you're managing your risk, all right, by using a lower lot size with a smaller account. Next is the mini lot. It's written as 0.1 to 0.99. And that is a $1 lot size. All right, so mini lot, next, mini lot. You write it 0.1 all the way up to 0.99. So a 0.1 lot size is a $1 lot size. Price goes up or down 1 pip, that's just $1. All right. And then it goes up to 0.99, which is $9.90. And then last is the standard lot. Standard lot is written as 1.00 to infinity. $10 lot size. All right, the last lot size is the standard lot size. You write it as 1.00 all the way to infinity. Now I say infinity because the more money you have in your account, the bigger the lot size. I've seen a bank trading with a $100,000 lot size, which is $1 million per pip. Because as you see, the trend is you just move the decimal place over. So if you have a standard lot, which is written as 1.00 or a dollar, then you move the decimal place over and you get, it has a value of $10 lot size. That's the margin. That's the margin. That's the leverage you're getting. Forex allows you to leverage and trade smaller amounts of money to make more money. All right. So these are the 3 lot sizes. And then here are the recommendations that I recommend when it comes to proper risk management. We'll talk about that briefly. Proper risk management. All right, proper risk management. Risk is 0.01 for every $100 in your account. So I recommend proper risk management. Any good Forex teacher or trader will do that. You want to be able to, you're going to lose. Even with the software, you're going to take some losses. If and so the whole goal is to get really good at trading. So you take minimal losses, but even the best traders take losses. So you want to, I'll give you guys a statistic. So I'll give you two statistics. Number one, they talk about how 98% of traders lose or never make any money in Forex. All right, crazy number, but it's because they have basic. The market is designed for them to lose if they do not have the right tools. AIRO is that right tool to help you not to become part of the 98%. A big reason why most traders lose, in the Forex game is because they do not manage their risk. They're out here trying to use, a standard lot size on a $100 account. Well, a standard lot is $10 per pip. So if price goes backwards 10 pips, you're out. So you want to make sure you manage your risk better. All right. I'll tell you another statistic. In 2020, the year 2020, JP Morgan, one of the top 10 financial institutions in the world, and they are one of the 10 Forex institutions in the world. There's only 10 that actually make the market up from a standpoint of create the charts and all that. They actually have the actual data. There's only 10 banks in the entire world. JP Morgan Chase is one of them. They only took 3 losses all last year. 3. They only closed out 3 entire year 2020 because they have infinity. They have the infinite amount of money. They have infinite amount of money because they have your money, my money, your parents' money, your family's money, your friend, your spouse's money that you think is in a bank. It's actually in the Forex market. That's why this market is $7 trillion a day, not a week, not a month, not a year. There is $7 trillion a day worth of money, physical money, or virtual money, more or less, that goes through the foreign exchange market every day. All right. And because they have infinite money, they don't take many losses because they can afford to hold a trade and be negative 10 million because they're trading with an account that's 1 billion. So 10 million negative on a $1 billion account, it's a drop in the hat. It's like $10 on a $1,000 account. It's a drop in the hat. All right. So you don't worry about it. And so I say that to say you have to learn to manage your risk because we're not the banks. We don't have infinite money. All right. And you want to make sure that you're not over leveraging so that you can live to trade another day. Because if you happen to take a loss, you don't want that loss to be so big that your whole account gets wiped out. Or you don't want that loss to be so big that now you only have $20 to trade and you used to have $1,000 to trade. I've seen it. It happens all the time. So you want to make sure that you manage proper risk. You use proper risk management. And to do so, I recommend a 0.01 lot size for every $100 in your account. So if you're trading with a $300 account, you should be using a 0.03. That's a 0.01 for every $100. 0.01 times 3 is 0.03. If you have $1,000 in your account, you should be trading with a 0.1. 5,000, 0.05. I'm sorry, 0.5 for 5,000. For a $10,000 account, you want to be trading with a 1.00 lot size. All right, that's what I recommend in the beginning. As you get more experience and better as a trader, of course, you can do what you want with your money. All right. So now we've talked about how to count pips, and we talked about lot sizes and proper risk management. I'm going to stop real quick before I show you strategy number 1 and see if there's any questions here. Lambo lot, exactly. Woo-hoo. The time on my AIRO alerts do not match the time on the MT4 charts. How do I fix this? So you can't, because the MT4 chart is, and the broker you're using to log into MT4 is, they have a different server time. So they're in a different time zone. So when they send out the signal, you're going to receive a signal with the broker server time. Just know that when you receive that signal is for right now. All right. So based on your time zone. So we can't fix that because we can't change the server time. Do I trade the pro pairs on all currencies in your live account? I do not. I only trade, I don't trade any pro pairs. So that PRO is a type of Forex pair, which has different stipulations. I recommend STP for everyone. I recommend STP when you're setting up standard settings for your pairs. All right, I don't trade pro. The alerts are not supposed to be for your time zone. They are in the time zone of the broker. If I receive a trade right now and it says, because it's 10 o'clock p.m. where I'm at, if it says, because I know my broker is 8 hours ahead of me. So if it says 1800, then I'll receive that signal right now. So I know that signal is for right now. It's not about your time zone. Forget your time zone. All you need to do is convert 12 a.m. Central to 12 p.m. Central, convert that into your broker's time frame as far as their time zone, and that's all that matters. Your time zone where you live does not matter. All right, if you have issues like that, reboot your VPS. Just reboot your VPS so you can get your alerts being sent out correctly. Again, do not worry about your time zone you live in. All right. So before I show you the software, the strategy, and then we get off this call, I want to show you how to link your MT4 account. So what you want to do is to get signals to your phone, you want to do one of two things. Number one is you want to download the MetaTrader 4 MT4. Don't worry about the 5. You want to download the MT4 to your phone. You want the app on your phone, all right, or you want on your tablet, whatever the case may be, all right. Once you have it, okay, on there, then you want to come here. You want to come up here to tools. Tools, come down to options, come to notifications, select enable push notifications, and then here it's going to ask you for your MetaQuotes ID number. So inside of your MetaTrader 4 app, you want to go to settings and then chat and messages. Settings, and then go to chat and messages. And there you'll get a blank screen, but at the bottom, your My MetaQuotes ID number. So you want to put the ID number here in this white box and then hit test. When you hit test, you should get a test right here. All right. Once that's done, you select OK. All right. You select OK. All right. I select cancel because I already have mine set up. Once you said OK and everything's all set up that way, now you want to go into your settings on your phone and you want to ensure that your settings for the MT4 app, the notification setting, is turned on so that you receive notifications from your app. Therefore, you receive the notifications every time, and the only notification you receive is when an arrow pops up. So when an arrow pops up, it will give you notification for that actual arrow. It tells you the time it popped up, if it's a buy or sell arrow, what pair and what time frame. All right. So I have all my charts open here. When I'm expecting signals on the minute 15, and you can see here all the charts I have open. And let me close these out real quick. Let me go ahead. You guys go ahead and take a screenshot, a picture of this. Give you a second there. Same thing here. Take a screenshot or a picture for the pips. This is recorded, so it'll be on the Auvoria Prime. It'll be on the Auvoria Prime YouTube channel. All right, and then you also want to come here, and you want to take a screenshot or a picture of this. That way, you have all the notes that you need. All right. So let me close these charts real quick. right. Now, these right here are the 10 pairs that I recommend, Forex pairs. So take a screenshot or a picture of these. GBP USD, which is the Great Britain Pound US dollar. All right. GBP JPY, which is the Great Britain Pound Japanese Yen. GBP CHF, which is the Great Britain Pound Swiss franc. Next is the GBP NZD, which is the Great Britain Pound New Zealand dollar. All right. Then you have the GBP CAD, which is the Great Britain Pound Canadian dollar. Then you have the GBP AUD, which is the Great Britain Pound Australian dollar. And that's all the pound pairs that I use. I use all 6 of the Great Britain Pound pairs. And then next, I use EUR GBP, which is the Euro Great Britain Pound. Next is the EUR AUD, which is the Euro Australian dollar. Then you have the EUR JPY, which is the Euro versus the Japanese Yen. And then last is the EUR NZD, which is the Euro versus the New Zealand dollar. Those are the 10 Forex pairs that I recommend using with this software because those 10 pairs right there have the highest ADR or ATR, which allows them, you to have a higher probability chance of catching the amount of pips that are needed to change your life financially every day. ADR, ATR, what does that stand for? ADR is average daily range. ATR means average true range. They mean the exact same thing, just different terminology, different words for them. They are the amount of pips that price moves on average every day for a certain pair. So the Great Britain Pound Australian dollar, you can see here on Friday, it moved a total of, let me move this out the way. It moved a total of 333 pips for the day. It moved from top to bottom. It ran up 333 pips. All right, 333 pips. All right. So on a daily basis, you have the opportunity to catch pips. All right, when you're using the software. And so the higher the ADR, the more volatile that pair is. But the software, allows you to see things that you normally see when to get in and potentially be on the right side if you follow the rules. Again, no guarantees. But the higher the ADR, the more opportunity you have to catch the pips you need, to reach your goals. All right. So that's why I use and recommend these 10 pairs. However, the software works on everything. We use the software on cryptocurrency. We use the software on indices, which is the stock markets, the indexes, what they're called. We use it on precious metals like gold and silver and oils, things of that nature. So, all right. Now that we've gone over that, we'll go over strategy number 1, and then we'll call it a day. So before we go over strategy number 1, I'm just going to pinpoint or point out what you see on this chart. So you have these green zones and this one red zone here. Green zones are support, called the support zones. Red zones are the resistance zones. So the support, you can think of it like the floor. If I drop a ball on the floor, it bounces off the floor and heads back up. If I throw a ball up at the ceiling, which is the resistance, it hits the ceiling and comes back down. So as you can see here, price comes up, bounces off the floor, heads up. Price hits the ceiling, bounces down. All price does on a daily basis is hits the floor and ceiling over and over again. That helps you to understand the overall structure of the market, all right, where it may be potentially going, where it may be potentially turning around at, all right. Next, you have these green candles. As you notice here, if I go to the default chart, load template, we go default chart, all right. You see that run up, there's red and green candles. But with AIRO, all the candles are what? All the candles are green. That is the software to help you out in understanding what the overall trend is. Even though price is going up and down, the overall direction is up. Therefore, it stays green. Right? It's green and it's above this blue line here. This blue line is what we call a moving average, which means it's giving you the average price of moving average is it takes the average of so many candles and it's moving because as a new candle forms, the old candle falls off and the actual line itself will move with price. So as price is going up, the line goes up. When price comes down, the line goes down. When price goes sideways, the line goes sideways. So it moves with price. All right. So price, which is the candlesticks, is above the moving average in green, you're in the buy trend. All right. The longer it is green, the higher it goes, the stronger that trend is. When it's below the moving average and it's red, it's in a downtrend. The longer that goes, the stronger it is. The shorter it goes, the weaker it is. All right. Next, you have the shadow area. We talked about that. That's the money zone. All right. And then last but not least, so you have the arrows here. There are 3 types of arrows, even though they all look the same based on my proprietary strategy. And then last but not least, you have the arrow pips right here. This is your pip counter. As you are making trades, and I'll show you exactly how it works here in a second. I'll take some trades here on my demo account to show you how it all works. It will actually tell you if you're positive or negative in a trade. All right. So that is the breakdown of the software. Real simple software. Next, we'll talk about the strategy. Strategy number 1. So strategy number 1 is the bag entry method. Bag stands for what? Everyone, it's slang for getting paid, get money. As everybody talks about, get to the bag. But with AIRO, bag stands for bounce, arrow, go. Bounce, arrow, go is what bag stands for. All right, bounce, arrow, go. And so, because it stands for bounce, arrow, go, there's rules behind it to help you out when taking trades. There are 3 steps to strategy number 1. Step 1. Step 1 is zoom out all the way. So there's a zoom button, magnifying glass up here, one with a plus sign, one with a negative sign. You want to zoom out all the way. And you want to count your zones. If you have more green zones than red zones, you're in a buy trend, only take buys. If you have more red zones than green zones, you're in a sell trend, only take sales until you're more experienced. All right. So we have more green than red. All right. So we're going to go back to Friday. So on Friday, we know we're only looking to take up arrows. Rule number 2 to the bag strategy is only trade inside the money zone. All right. So only inside the money zone. All right. So we're going to take up arrows inside the money zone. I see 1 and I see 2. Now, step number 3 is only take bag entry trades in the direction of the trend inside the money zone. So bags, again, stands for bounce, arrow, go. If we're in a buy trend and we're looking for up arrows, we first want price to bounce off of the floor or support, head up, get up arrow, we take the trade to the upside. All right, that's it. And it doesn't matter how it touches it. Like right here, let's just say none of these touch except for this one candle right here. That's fine. That's one touch. As long as you get a little piece of a candle that touches the zone and then you get up arrow, that is considered a bounce. All right. So we got a very little one right here. And then the next candle, we got an arrow, which means that we would put a buy in on the very next candle right here, and this green candle right here. We also have another bounce right here and another up arrow right here, which means that we put another entry on this candle right here, right there. All right. Take profit. So if we're in a buy, our take profit, where price will automatically close out at, will be above us because we expect price to go above us. Stop loss means that when price hits a stop loss level, it will automatically close out. You want to use stop losses as another form of risk management. Stop losses will stop the trade from going too far. If you're in a trade and it can go the wrong way long enough to where you have no more money in your account. So you want to minimize how far price goes back while you're still in the trade. So you want to use a stop loss to, so if it hits that line, it automatically closes you out in the negative, but it's going to be a smaller negative than it would be small negative than it would be if you waited long term and just try to hold it forever, or you fell asleep. All right. So that's the rules. That's it. That's it. Very simple rule. Very effective rule. People are winning on a daily basis with this strategy. And then there are 9 other strategies. Strategy number 10 comes out this week, and that'll be the last of all the strategies that come out for now. There might be some more, don't know. But right now, we'll have those 10 strategies out. You keep hearing, let's see here. Once you got all that set up, let's go ahead and take a trade right now. So to take a trade, so I can show you how to take a trade, you want to, the easiest way is just to right click on the black of the screen, come down to one click trading. From here, you have a sell button and a buy button. You're gonna, when you hit sell, it's gonna put an entry at your white line because that's the bid. You always sell at the bid, the white line. All right. The buy will always be at the red line, which is the ask. You always buy at the ask. All right. And there's number in here, this little white box in the middle is where you change your lot size. So if you see here, right underneath charts, you have this blue and white box. It's called your terminal. Select that. You can see here on my demo account, I have a $3,885 demo account. All right. So based on the rules, the 0.01 lot size for every $100 in my account, I should be using a 0.38. All right. I'm going to hit buy because we're in an uptrend and prices, trying to move up. So I hit buy. You can see right there at the red line, it entered in. You got a green line right there. That is my what? That is my entry. Here's where the spread comes in handy. Red and white. That's the difference between your bid and ask is the spread. Both the red line and the white line must get above your entry line, your green line, for you to be in profit. All right. Also, if your take profit is up here, both the red line and the white line must get above that line for you to close out in profit. All right. Unfortunately, the stop loss is down here. The only line that needs to touch would be one of the lines. So if you're in a sell, if we're in a buy, like we're now, my bid touches stop loss line, it closes me out. If we're in a sell and my ask line touches my stop loss line, where I'm going to close out. That part sucks, but that's the game. We just got to learn how to play within the game. All right. So as you can see here, I was down 3 pips. Now I'm down just 1. As you can see here, it says I'm in a GBP AUD trade and I'm down 1 pip. You see up here on the chart, GBP AUD. That's the forex pair we're trading right now. All right. Now it's green because I'm in a buy. But if I hit sell right here, you'll see it has sell and sell is red. So whenever you look at the pip calculator or counter right here, if you see that, oh, I've got one that's in red, that just means that person, either you or that person you look at the chart, selling that currency pair or that pair, that asset class. If it's green, you know they were buying it. They're in the buy. All right. So I'm gonna go now to my, if you come over here to my navigator, all right, I'm sorry, to my terminal. Again, now I've got 2 trades on. So now you can see the order number for both trades, what times, what types, one buy, one sell, what size, lot size, what symbol or currency pair, the price I got in at, my stop loss, my take profit, current price, the commission. Again, this is where the broker makes the money. The swap. Again, if you put a trade in over on this side and it passes this white dotted line here, this is your period separator, you'll be charged a swap fee. This white dotted line here, this period separator is what? It is, it identifies the new Forex day. So it identifies the new Forex day. All right, that's all it does. This happens every day at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern is when this price will get to this line here. All right. So you see a swap fee put there if you get into a trade on this side and it crosses the line. So when it gets to this side, you'll have a swap fee. This is another way for the broker to make more money off of you. And last, you show profits. But your profits, you see here, don't add up to the same thing here. $3 and $9, that's $12. It says 16. Well, it's taking into account the commission. So it's already factored in. So this is your profit and your loss for the pair you're in, but then down here, total calculates also your commissions and your swap fees. All right, and the little X next to it is how you close everything out. So I'm gonna close out the sell because we're currently in a buy trend. All right, so I'm gonna close out the sell, and then boom, look at that. GBP AUD, we're at +1 now. So we're currently 1 pip in profit. Now we're at break even. Now, the easiest way to set stop loss and take profit is to do this. We're in a buy, so we want price to go up. So you want to put your mouse on the dotted line. The green dotted line, it says drag to modify there. Click, hold, and drag up. And as you drag up, you can see here, look over here. It says my order number, TP, which means take profit, which means I know I'm dragging in the right direction for take profit. It says how much money I would make if I dropped it right here, which is $50 US dollars. And it tells me how many pips. It says 178 pips. That is really 17.8 pips. 17.8 pips is what that really is. All right. So if I drop that there, if price gets above that line, both the bid and ask, I will make $50.01. Now, I'm in a buy. So take profit is above me, which means stop loss is what? Below me. So I do the same thing. Put my mouse on it. It says drag and modify, click and hold, drag down. And you see what? Order number, SL now. Doesn't say TP, it says SL for stop loss. Tells you how much you lose at this point and how many pips. That says negative 477 pips. That's really negative 47.7 pips. All you do is let go. Now your take profit and stop loss is set, and you see down here in your terminal, stop loss set, take profit set. Then you let it run. All right. Again, watch the videos in the back office for more detailed information and more about the strategies. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, see if there's any questions right now. We got a couple here. The ADR stands for the average daily range, the average number of pips a pair moves on a daily basis. All right. If you don't see the red line or white line, your bidder ask, then that's why I gave you guys those settings. Those settings at the very beginning for the colors and everything, that will ensure your, and then also saving the templates the way I saved them for you guys, the default template and then the AIRO template, that will ensure that every time you put the AIRO template on, you will always see both lines. So just, if you go back, watch this video again, and if you took notes or took screenshots, then you'll be good to go. If you're still having issues receiving your notifications, number one, you want to make sure that your notifications are actually turned on. So for example, inside of settings and the chat messages, if you see that you're receiving notifications here, but it's not coming to your phone, that means you need to turn on your notifications on your phone. All right. That way you can receive notifications. If you didn't know, you can turn off and on your notifications for every app on your phone. You need to turn those notifications on. If you still have issues, you want to make sure you reboot. You make sure you do the Windows update. If you're still having issues outside of that, please submit a ticket. All right. Please submit a ticket. All right. The VPS is being worked on. For everyone that doesn't know, the company is bringing on a second VPS company where these VPSs are more, they have more power, but then also it will help spread the load out so that not the entire company is on one company's VPS server. We'll be able to be spread out. And so we're working on a second company to come on board to help us out. And there's talks of even potentially a third company just to make sure that as we continue to grow right now, we ensure that you guys have a very, very best user experience. Version 4 is coming out. Let me show you guys real quick what it looks like. Version 4 is coming out this weekend, potentially. I'm working on pushing out this weekend. If we get everything done on the VPS side, we will potentially push it out this weekend. And it will help out with what? It will help out with the load. So the reason why the software is slow because there are a lot of people trading it now. We have well over 1,000 members and climbing. And so there are a lot of people using it. There are a lot of people using it during the money zone time frame, which is what everyone is trained to do so. So that bogs down the servers of the current company we're working with. Also, the software itself is, I would say, resource intensive because of all the visual aspects of the software. So between those two combinations, I've worked to optimize the software. Next, I'm going to be bringing out version 4 because version 4, I guess the third reason why the software moves slow is what version 4 will fix. You see here, I have all 10 charts. For me to trade all 10 charts, I have to have all 10 on. All right. I have to have all 10 charts open. The more charts I have open with this software that's labor intensive, and then the more people that are trading it, it bogs down the servers. So bringing on a VPS company with better servers, faster servers, more memory, things of that nature, better core processor, faster processing power for your VPS will help to elude this issue. Also, version 4, and let me show it to you real quick what that looks like. And then I'll let you guys go. Version 4 looks like this. Cool thing about version 4 is it lets you trade, or I say this EA is an EA that all it does is it manages all the signals for the currency pairs for anything you want to trade. So I have 12 pairs up here, 10 that I recommend plus 2 others. You can put more. I have this is on my demo account. On my live account, I trade with 15. You can trade with all 28 major pairs or forex pairs. You can trade with 30 stocks, whatever the case may be. You can trade it all. And the beautiful thing is, it manages it for one chart. So I literally can close all these charts up here. Matter of fact, let's close so you can see how it works. I'm gonna close them real quick. And so here's how it works. It tells you the symbol and the time frame. Under the settings, let me open the settings up for you. You can select your own pair list and create your own list of things you want to watch, or you can select what's already here. All right. You can also select the time frames, or you can add time frames in here. I only look at 4 time frames. These are the only 4 that I teach on, but others like other time frames, so you guys can use that. Own pairs, I put my own list in here. And then and that's it. So you can do all that. Once you got all that set up, it'll show you exactly what you set up based on the custom settings. Here's my custom settings. So every time I receive an alert, it'll pop up green for buy, and red for sale. All right. So green, H4, what this means is on the Great Britain pound Swiss franc currency pair, there was an up arrow on the H4. So I just click on that green tile. It will open up the chart for me, automatically put the software on, and then look at that. There's the chart. There's the arrow. The arrows, they're not late. The arrow will only show up when this candle is done closing and the next candle opens. So you're going to always enter in on the very next candle than what the arrow shows. All right. So it's never late. That's how it's designed to work. That's how the software works. So again, it manages everything from one chart. So it allows you to have less charts open. Therefore, you don't have to worry about software being bogged down. You always receive signals. And then when you come here to, you see it, you're like, all right, great. Let me go ahead and click on that, open it up. It throws it on you. You can see if your rules are met, put in your trade, call it a day. And the cool thing is with the pip counter, you only need one chart open and you can watch all your trades. So that you take profit, so you stop loss, you can watch all your trades from one chart. So you really only need 2 charts open. And whenever you want to change, you just close that chart and then go to the next chart. Even if it doesn't have a signal, you can click on it. It'll still pull up that time frame and the software. And you're good to go. All right. The new version that's going to come out, version 4, I'm going to roll out to you guys. It's going to have the ADR for every pair on here. So you guys will understand the ADR, what the ADR is for each currency pair. I'll have that on here as well when I roll it out. Hopefully, we're looking to roll it out this weekend. Let's see if we got any questions here. Can you show how to set alerts for multiple pairs at once? All you do is open up every pair you want to put the alert on, put the time frame on the minute 15, and put the software on. As long as you have the chart open with the software on it, you will receive alert for it. That's it. It's real simple. All right, great. So I have a one-click trade button on, but I still receive pop-up dialog box when I click buy or sell. You need to select. All that is just a little box. You need to select that you've read the disclaimer, and then hit OK, and then hit buy or sell again, and it'll work that time. That box won't pop up. I have an idea for marketplace items for AIRO, personalized AIRO skins. I like that. Send me some ideas. You got it. Send them to me. We may be able to get Auvoria Prime to sell those on your behalf. All right, let me know. DM me at Nate Got the Bag on Instagram or at Nate Got the Bag on Telegram. All right. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys supporting, AIRO. Looking forward to trading with you guys this week. We have the first live trading session tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I'm not on until London session Wednesday morning. So if you guys are in the AIRO bag chat, so that's the company's chat group for AIRO, you can go to the pinned messages up top, and the schedule will be in those pinned messages. All right. That will have a schedule for the entire week. We currently have about 33 hours worth of live trade sessions. And then this 1 hour right here, or 2 hours, more like an hour and a half of just setup time. All right, guys, if you're going to trade tonight, make sure to trade responsibly. And I'll see you guys in the funny papers. Thanks.